One of our deceivers once robbed a spaceman of his helmet. You can tell us who you think it is by voting along in the chat. Now let's find out who's telling the truth and who is a chump. Welcome to Chump, everybody, the Rooster Teeth game show all about lying and deception. I'm your host, Jeremy Dooley, and this episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Make sure to get yourself a VPN today and protect your online data by heading to expressvpn.com/chump. And now, without further ado, it's time to introduce our cast of liars for today's episode, starting with deceiver number one, Sam Mitchell.
Hey, that's me. I'm here.
Deceiver number two, Ben Singer. And deceiver number three, Mr. Chad James. Welcome back.
Oh, God. Hey, everybody.
Hey. Oh, man. A real death battle cast here today on Chump. And they're going against the one and only contestant. Welcome back, Maggie Tomini. Welcome back. Hey.
Hi.
Maggie is here to sort the fact from the lies. And of course, audience, you're doing that as well. You're voting along in the chat and trying to not be the chump. Because remember, whoever swallow my words there. Whoever has the least amount of points at the end of the episode is the chump for that episode. And audience, you've been on a bit of a bad streak lately. You got to get yourself out of the hole, but I believe in you. Maggie, you are back as a contestant. You've never been a contestant before. How are you feeling going into this? Do you think you'll be a good contestant?
I was feeling okay, and then we were about to start the show, and everyone told me how hard it was to be a contestant. So
we piled on a little bit.
Yeah. It's all mind games. Don't worry about it, Maggie. You'll be fine. The plan begins.
I think I was the worst contestant on this show of all time. So, like,
I mean, you say that, but Jack exists, and he, that poor man, I don't think has ever won as the contestant in like 5 or 6 times we've had him on. But also, like Chad and Sam, you've been on the show quite a bit, but Ben, this is your first time on the show as well. And are you feeling confident going into this that you'll be able to fool Maggie?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Perfect.
We'll find
That's
out.
probably the strongest stance you can have going into this. But let's see where everyone stands by jumping into our first game, which is called What's in Your House? In this game, I will go down... Chad is in his house. I will go down the line of the deceivers and get a one-sentence description of a bizarre item that is in their house. However, only one of them is telling the truth. The other two are making up items that do not exist. It is up to Maggie to determine who has the real item by questioning each of them. Up to my discretion, I'll tell her when to move on to the next person, and then guessing who has the real item. So before we get started with the game, we need to get those one-sentence descriptions from everyone, starting with Sam Mitchell. Sam, what is in your house?
So this one's a little different, but I do have a human soul, or at least the like property rights of one. Not one myself. Like I have the purchase certificate and like little.
Got it. Okay. You know it's anytime Sam's been on the show a lot. Anytime you see Sam do this, you know that something bad's happening. It's the together, and then it's like the preparation.
I assume you want me to talk about the weirdest shit I own, not like I have 3 coffee cups. Like,
correct. You're right. No, you are right. Ben Singer, what is in your house?
Okay. I have an owl that wears boots and a jetpack.
An owl that wears boots and a jetpack. And Chad, what is in your house?
I have a life-size inflatable Master Chief.
A life-size inflatable Master Chief. All right, so inflatable Master Chief, jetpack owl, and human soul. Maggie? Right, audience, you are voting a lot. Sorry, I was these lists of items here. Audience, you, of course, are voting as well. A poll will come up in the chat. You just click the button to cast your vote. You can change it at any point. If you're on mobile, the voting works a bit differently. You actually type into the chat #1 for Sam, #2 for Ben, and #3 for Chad. That's how you cast your votes, but only on mobile. Otherwise, there's nice buttons you can click on. You can change your mind as you hear the stories. Maggie, who do you want to question first?
I guess I'll start with Chad.
Okay, with the life-size inflatable Master Chief. There's no time limit here. I'll just tell you when to move on. So whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Alrighty. So, Chad,
Yes.
First of all, how was your day?
It was really good. I miss you.
Oh, I miss you too. Did you have this item prior to working at Screw Attack?
Yes.
When did you receive this item?
Whenever Halo 2 was launching, because I worked at Blockbuster at the time, and that's how I got it.
Okay. So lots of information in that. And is it officially licensed by Halo?
Yep, it was a promotional thing that came with the, they send you like all the games and like this is the promotional art that you put up, and they had this for some reason inflatable life-size Master Chief.
And do you inflate it by your mouth or?
Yes, it's the standard like little toggle deal
for a life-size Halo Master Chief inflatable.
Yeah, it would be nice if they had the like the bigger like bed-sized one, but no, you had to do that by mouth.
Okay,
By
and.
mouth.
I know a lot about Halo, obviously, since I work on Red versus Blue. Yeah, no, I don't. What does he have a weapon?
Yeah, so it's when the Halo 2 promo came out, it was basically Master Chief. He's like looking this way, and he's got 2 of these dual SMGs.
Okay, and
because they were promoting the whole dual wielding thing that came in Halo 2.
Have you introduced this to your children?
Yes, actually, it has like sand at the bottom, and it wasn't probably intended for this, but my son likes to use it as one of those like, remember those punching, those punching bag things?
Clowns?
Yeah, like the like clown thing. Yeah. I've since deflated it because my son destroys everything, and I don't want him to pop it.
So
There
did
you
you
go,
have
Maggie.
it inflated? Oh man. Okay.
Yep. Oh man. Cutting you off there on Chad. Who would you like to go to next?
Let's go, Ben.
Let's go, Ben. With the owl. All right. No time limit here, so whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Alrighty. What sort of materials is the owl made out of, and are the boots a separate material as well as the jetpack?
I actually don't know, but they seem to be some sort of like copper or brass material, and it's all one kind of the same material throughout the whole thing.
Okay. And when did you obtain this object?
This would have been. It was right before. Okay, it was like 2016. 2016-ish.
So just right before you met me. So
Yes.
okay, got that. And where did you either purchase this or receive this? Was it a gift?
So this was kind of an impulse buy. It was unlike most people at Rooster Teeth, I did not go to college at UT or any of those fancy places around here. I went to UNT, which is known for
Dr. Phil?
music. Yes, Dr. Phil. And near there is a place called the Denton Square. And on the Denton Square, there's just a bunch of random shops. And one of them is a place called the Downtown Mini Mall, which just has a bunch of random crap in it. And that's where I found it.
Very familiar. My brother was born in Denton, and we only moved away when I was 1. So very familiar with the area.
Then you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
I couldn't possibly be lying.
And this jetpack, is it detachable, or are the boots detachable at all? It's just one piece, you said?
I really wish they were, but they're not.
Okay. And do you clean it regularly?
Probably should. It's a little dusty.
All right, on the the dusty owl is where we'll end the questioning there. Which, I mean, that leaves the item, right? The human soul here. Maggie, we're all waiting to hear the questions. So whenever you're ready, you can question Sam.
Alrighty. Hi, Sam.
Maggie.
So I actually sold my soul once, and I was wondering how you
My
obtained
God.
this soul.
eBay. It was a thing people used to do on eBay. It was like I don't know. I wouldn't want to say trendy, but yeah. So people would sell their souls on eBay, and I thought it was funny, and I knew the person, and so I bought their soul.
And do they claim that you still have ownership of this soul through that deed?
I mean, I do have the certificate of ownership of their soul, so it's hard for them to
But
argue.
do they agree?
I mean, they would agree that I purchased it. I haven't talked to this person in a decade, so I don't know how they're feeling about it, but I bought it fair and square. I don't know. If an eBay auction is an illegally binding contract, I don't know what it is.
Alrighty. And would you say after you purchased this item, they had the demeanor of someone who had been kissed by a Dementor?
They were very attractive, and so I didn't notice anything else because I was like 15 or something like that, and that's all I really
And
cared
you're
about.
Sam.
I thought maybe,
So.
yeah. Maybe I thought maybe buying the soul would be an end to flirt. I was not smart.
And did you use your own funds to purchase this?
Yeah. I mean, by my own funds. I think I was 15, so that would have been an allowance. But yes, I did.
Okay, so your parents' funds. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I remember asking my mom to use eBay if I could use her credit card. She was like, "Why? What are you buying?" And I was like, "A soul." And she was like, "Okay, whatever."
I mean, I
good
feel like
mom.
you got a lot more.
Wonderful lady. Yeah.
I sold mine for apple juice, so props to whoever got your soul, I guess.
Wow.
Was
But,
the apple juice good?
Yeah. It was apple juice, so yes. But we had just watched The Simpsons, so I blame them.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's where I'm calling that. You know what? I'll step in there. I think it's also it's important to direct people toward during that Business Insider article from 2012 that says, "Turns out you're not allowed to sell your soul on eBay." I decided to look up how much souls we're going for nowadays.
That's 2012. This was in
that's
because they eventually
right.
stopped it, right? This was I was 15, so we're talking what is that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
2004? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, we sold Chris's soul for charity. We did that. It got pulled down, but then we put it back up and it's still sold. So we managed to get by that rule for Extra Life.
Look, Chris makes money. Sold his soul. He was selling kisses at one point or something. There was a whole
That seems
it was
close
a whole
to
thing with
illegal.
Chris.
Yeah.
There's a lot of illegal things happening.
Yeah.
Let's just move to Nevada, right?
Yeah, why not? Audience, last chance to change your votes now if you want to. Maggie, before we have you lock anything in, after hearing about all those items, do they all sound believable, or are there any you're kind of feeling a bit skeptical on?
I feel like just based on physical cues, I'm skeptical of Chad and Ben. And there's
Okay.
my
What
Chad's
were
problem.
these?
Not the
That's what I'm
soul,
curious
not
about.
the soul thing.
Well, no, I mean, I've done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that's
the weird twist I wasn't expecting. Like, I bought a human soul, man. He's like, oh, yeah,
I sold one.
of course.
And my cat Sam is hanging out.
Yeah, whatever.
I saw someone in chat be like, Chad's smiling, he's lying. And I'm like, when am I not? Like in content,
Right.
I'm perpetually smiling.
That is a smiley person.
You did have
Because
to
I haven't
put
been on
it
here
in
before.
content.
Chat doesn't know what I'm doing. It's great to
Right.
watch.
Yeah, what's your tell? That's the thing. It's always great getting new people on because we don't know. So, audience, we're going to lock you in. You are now locked in for your answer in game one. Thank you very much for playing, and best of luck to you. Maggie, now it is time to get your answer locked in. So you said you were a bit suspicious of Chad, bit suspicious of Ben, and Sam has a soul. So who are you thinking you want to lock in
Two, technically.
as having the actual item? Two souls, your own and another.
Mine, and then this lady.
Well,
Yeah.
Sam, you don't actually have a soul, so let's calm
Okay,
down.
Wow.
so can we call it 1.5?
Probably
I don't know.
accurate.
Well, I guess it's
give you the half.
Chad too, because he's a ginger. So Ben, you're the only one with a soul,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, you know.
And for that reason,
Great.
I'm gonna go with the owl.
You're gonna go with the owl. Do you want to lock that in as your answer?
I do, because I want it to be real.
All right, let's lock in the owl wearing boots and a jetpack. All right, so before we can reveal who has the actual item, and this game works a bit differently. I don't just say who has the item, but we will have our 3 deceivers all hold up their hands. One will be holding a real item. The other 2 will be holding nothing. The audience has voted for Sam and the Soul. The story of Sam and the purchased soul.
Look like the kind of guy that would own an extra soul. You need backup.
Yeah. you certainly have that look about you. 33%.
I do love some shady shit. So yeah.
All right. So the contestant has gone for Ben. The audience has gone for Sam. And again, I'm not going to reveal it. I'm going to count down from 3 and say reveal, and then the person who has the item can hold it up. So show the real item in 3, 2, 1. Reveal.
There it is.
I got nothing.
Oh, there it is. Oh, wow.
Wearing a jetpack. See, I saw this on a shelf and I was like, this is adorable and cool and weird. I kind of want it. I don't know why I still have it, but I have it.
I'm the smartest man alive.
Seeing it closer up really makes me like, I understand you looking at that and going, I want that.
Yeah, I gotta get it.
Looks great.
It's pretty cool. Now, Sam,
Apparently,
that is the thing.
Being the contestant isn't that bad then, Maggie.
Apparently.
You got it.
I know the souls thing is the thing, right? But people did do that, sold their souls on eBay. I mean, clearly Maggie did it for apple juice.
Well, that was my brother, so.
oh, your brother has your soul? Nice.
Well, he lost it, so I have the soul.
What did out there somewhere?
Tori sold like his PlayStation to his sister for a pickle at one point. Like, don't get me started. It's a whole thing.
Listen, the economy is crazy. That's what we've learned. This episode of Chump is brought to you by Honey. Look, we all shop online, especially right now, and we've all seen that promo code field taunt us at checkout. It's right there. It's like, put in that code. You can save some money. And you're like, I don't know the code. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is a free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 online stores that range from tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands. Pretty much anything you could ever want. Here's how it works. When you check out, the Honey button drops down and all you have to do is click apply coupons. You wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons for that site specifically. If Honey finds a working one, you'll watch the prices drop. I can't tell you how many times before I had Honey that I would see that coupon code little bar that needs to be filled out. I'd go searching online and I'd just try one. That one doesn't work. Try one. This one doesn't work anymore. And you just keep trying them. Eventually, I just give up. But Honey is free to install and it makes it really, really easy. If there's a coupon code that will save you money, Honey is going to find it. It's going to apply it and you're going to save money. And right now we're doing a lot of shopping online. So that's going to save you quite a bit of change. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in just a few seconds. And by getting it, you're doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. And don't you want to see more Chump? Come on, everyone does. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/chump. That's joinhoney.com/chump. Thank you very much for the money, Honey. So at the end of that game, it means Maggie got a point for getting that correct, and the deceivers got a point for fooling the audience. So it is now 1-1 tied, with the audience trailing behind as the current chumps. But that can all change because all 3 competitors have a chance of winning 2 points in this round, which is called pushing the envelope. Now, in this game, I've got 3 envelopes. Each one contains a true fact about our 3 deceivers. I'm going to shuffle them up and redistribute them. So they might get their own fact. They might get someone else's. Maggie is going to question each of them for 60 seconds about the fact they received. If it's their own, they're answering truthfully. If they got someone else's, they're lying and trying to make Maggie think that that fact is indeed about them. Audience, you work a bit differently, but we'll get to that after we hear the facts. Starting with Sam. The true fact about Sam is that Sam once robbed a spaceman of his helmet.
These
Sam
are facts.
once
That happened.
robbed a spaceman of his helmet. The true story about Ben is Ben once saved a dog's life. Once saved a dog's life, which I know Maggie will be very, very appreciative of that because I know Maggie's an animal lover. And Chad once ran through a popular tourist destination while dressed as a banana. So those are your 3 facts about our 3 deceivers. Audience, you are going to be voting on one fact in particular about all of these. And if you can properly guess who ran through a popular tourist destination while dressed as a banana, you will get 2 points for guessing that correctly. Because it's a bit harder because you're only going to hear one story. And you'll be hearing a story from Chad, and then you can decide if you believe Chad or if you think it was about Ben or if you think it was about Sam. You can cast your votes accordingly. Maggie, who do you want to start with?
Let's start with. Sorry, I got distracted by my cat.
I get it.
I guess because of that, let's start with Sam, so that maybe she'll
human
stop
cat.
messing around. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, we are going to start with Sam, who once stole, or not stole, but robbed, I guess it's stealing, robbed a spaceman of his helmet. You have 60 seconds to question Sam. Ready, get set, go.
Where were you?
I was at a place called the Palladium in Dallas. It's a music venue.
Was it someone dressed as a spaceman or an astronaut?
It was not a real like NASA astronaut. No, it was a Halloween show.
Okay. And
there's that
do
guy
you
who's
still
in the basement.
Okay. Do you still have that helmet?
No, but my friend Chance in Dallas has it because he was at
And
TV, so he got to keep it.
He was lucky to get that chance. Huh. Sorry. Does he ever send you pictures of it as updates on how it's doing?
I have not seen a picture of it in a while. No.
And was it fully intact when you took it home?
Yes.
And did it have a visor that could move?
Yeah. It was up and down.
Was it pre-manufactured or 3D printed?
It was definitely an injection molded kind of thing, so it was certainly bought at a store.
All right, there you go. There are your questions about the robbed spaceman, no longer with a helmet. Who would you like to question next, Maggie?
Let's go Chad.
Great. I'm definitely not pouring a drink. What's up?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were doing. That's why I picked you.
There you go. Catch him
you.
off guard. Audience, you're going to pay extra close attention to the questioning on this one because it is the fact that you are trying to determine. Ran through a popular tourist destination while dressed as a banana. 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
Would you have been recognizable as a banana as you ran through this attraction?
Yes.
Where was this?
Vegas.
Okay, and what attraction specifically in Vegas?
It was down the strip.
Just down the strip?
Yeah, in front of like the like Paris area across from the Bellagio.
I totally know where all those places are, so thank you.
I miss Vegas.
What kind of shoes were you wearing?
Skate shoes. Like I only, you're not gonna catch me with shoes. Like it's only always skate shoes.
And were you approached at all by the police department? I know they have a pretty
people being in costumes is fairly common on the strip in Vegas.
Okay, and what was the temperature outside when you did this?
Hot. Very hot. It was very hot in the
Was
banana
it
outfit.
day or night?
It was day.
Okay.
Okay, Maggie, I feel like I have to step in here and ask one further question. Chad, I'm gonna side with Maggie here for a little bit, and I want to ask one further question.
Sure.
Why were you running down the strip as a banana?
I was surprised she didn't ask that.
That didn't even occur to me.
So this was in the Screw Attack days, and it was probably like I don't remember when it dropped. When was Donkey Kong Country on Wii? It was like 2010. We were out there for CES, and our boss is very adamant about making sure we are as productive as possible at all times. So even though we were covering CES, we also needed to get more videos. And so it was some stupid clip of the week that we did to promote this Donkey Kong game, and I had to run down this banana. I think Nick was dressed as Donkey Kong chasing me.
I love that. I was like, where were you running as a banana? And you're like, down the strip in Vegas. And
I know. I love
like,
that Maggie just accepted it. Like, yes, as one does in Vegas.
She's like, yes. What shoes were you wearing?
That's the question that really matters.
Oh, no.
So, audience, remember, that is the story that you are casting your votes on. Is Chad telling the truth, or is it about Ben? Is it about Sam? Speaking of Ben is the last one who needs to be questioned, and Ben once saved a dog's life. You have 60 seconds to question Ben about this. 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
Am I going to be willing to ask you more questions based on the condition of the dog when you saved them?
Yes, the dog was fine afterward. And we kept
But beforehand, was it? I'm not going to ask what happened to it.
well,
so it was
I can tell
male
you
dog?
it was male dog. Yes, I even have a picture if you want to see. Not of the wound, but of the dog.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
See,
Aww.
little white Bichon Pool mix.
Careful. All right.
Aw, that's cool. Okay, yeah. So does he get brown crusties in his eyes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
that's very
frequently.
typical of Bijons and poodles. Does his anal gland have to be expressed?
Ooh, I don't know about that one. No, it's not a thing that we had to
Okay.
worry about.
Okay, good to know. That's all.
Now, so here's
What
the
is
thing.
You get
Nothing about the
Ben.
story of how I actually found him.
What I assume is, because I
mean-
think this has come up in another chump, I think Maggie does not like to hear stories about animals being in a perilous position, right?
Even if they're
Is
not
that what-
real. Like, you
Even if
know,
it's not
whatever-
real.
Yeah.
He's a real dog.
Right, I think we...
Yeah.
Well, I think we had a tweet from Maggie one time where you were mad at a movie. There was some movie that you were like,
It was
fuck this
Thor.
movie. And
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, it was like
'Cause
Thor
they-
Ragnarok because they were mean to a dog. I think it was.
yeah, they were mean to Fenrir in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
demon
that
dog?
was it.
Well, this dog's name was Bo. He was very sweet, and we kept him for ever since. And then he unfortunately passed away recently, but he was an older dog. So.
Oh, well, rest in peace, Bo. But there is your questioning for pushing the envelope. So, audience, last chance to cast your votes. Maggie, before we lock anything in, I'm just going to kind of go down the line. And based on your questioning and what we've heard, is there anyone that you're completely not believing, or has everyone swayed you to a certain extent? What are you thinking?
I am trying to remember what they said.
Got it.
Okay.
But I trust Ben, although anal glands do need to be expressed if it's a poodle mix, usually. Chad, what was... Oh, yeah, I believe that would be a screw attack thing. And you mentioned Nick, which he seems proportionally not the right size, but that's okay. And then...
We
Sam,
didn't
what
really
was
worry
yours?
that hard about casting.
Oh, yours was the helmet guy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just can't... I don't know. Maybe you used to be more social when you were younger. I don't know.
Damn.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe in a different life. All right, so audience, we're gonna lock in your answer now. Thank you very much for playing and guessing who ran around in a banana suit. And Maggie, it is now time to go down the line of our deceivers and just hear from you if you think they're telling the truth or telling a lie. A reminder, if you get 2 of them correct, you get a point. And if you get all 3 of them correct, you get 2 points. And then vice versa for the deceivers. Audience, if you get your question correct, you get 2 points as well. All right, so we need to start with Sam, who robbed the spaceman of his helmet. Is Sam telling the truth or telling a lie?
I'm going to lean into Sam being a liar.
Do you want to lock that in?
I do.
I see how
Locking
it is.
Sam as a liar.
Very rude.
Based on the fact that she did not believe he ever went out and did things. Love it.
Right.
I mean, that's yeah.
Fair. Now on to Ben, who once saved a dog's life. Is Ben telling the truth or telling a lie?
I believe Ben is lying because I think Sam actually would have saved the dog.
Interesting. Do you want to lock that in?
I will.
All right, let's lock in Ben. As a
You don't think
liar.
I would just save a dog at all?
Very un-Ben thing to do.
Yeah, it's like
Sam's the only one that could have saved the dog. Ben would have let it die.
Dogs.
So you walk up on Ben saving a dog, and you're like, "This has Sam written all over it." This is
Yeah.
real.
Sam, get
All
out
right,
of
and
that
now-
Ben costume.
Sam
And
pushes
on
Ben
to-
out of the way, and then like,
So Chad in the banana suit, mathematically could still either be a lie or a truth. So either Sam and Ben are switched, and Chad is telling the truth, or all three are lying. Do you think that Chad is telling the truth or telling a lie?
I believe Chad is telling the truth.
Do you want to lock that in?
I do.
Locking in, Chad is telling the truth, the Vegas banana himself. And before we reveal who is the real banana, we need to see what the audience thought. Who did you think ran through a tourist destination dressed as a banana? Do you agree that it's Chad? The answer is yes. 6% think it was Ben.
Wow, okay. Clearly, I don't save dogs. I don't run through places as bananas. That's just me.
What does Ben do? People are very confused. And now it's time to go
I
down
just
the
like
line
owls.
and
That's it.
see. Yeah. It was an awesome owl. Let's go down the line and find out. Starting with Sam. Sam claimed to have robbed a spaceman of his helmet. You thought Sam was telling a lie. I can reveal that Sam was telling the truth. That was a true story from Sam.
I went
Yes.
outside when I was younger. I went outside. It's fine. Don't worry.
He went out. He did things.
yeah, me and other friends dragged him to stuff.
On to Ben, who claimed to have saved a dog's life. There weren't a lot of specific questions here, but you thought that was a lie based on just the general vibe of Ben, and I can reveal that Ben was telling a lie. You are correct. That story was not about. That was not from Ben. That was a picture of a dog he had at the ready. Was that your
The dog
dog?
was real. It was my
Okay.
family dog, but I did not
Got
save
it.
its life. We just got it from unless you count adopting from a rescue center, but you know.
That is saving a life. You should be proud of that.
It was a very
Well
good
done.
I guess
correct,
we'll-
for sure.
And then
But learn
on-
about anal glands.
Right, anal glands. That's a thing. That is a thing.
Gotta express them.
those. And on to Chad. Ran through Vegas as a banana. Did he? You thought he did, but I can reveal that Chad did not run through Vegas as a banana. That was a lie, which means
Sorry.
audience, you got that incorrect because it was actually Ben Singer who ran through a tourist destination while dressed as a banana. The one 6% of you thought Ben did it.
Surprise!
Ben actually was the one who did it. Which I also love that Maggie said to Chad after hearing the banana thing. She was like, that sounds like a very screw attack thing to do. And I was like, well, that didn't narrow it
Right.
down.
That's true.
Funny enough, it wasn't for a screw attack thing. It was for like a high school
really?
thing I was doing in San Antonio. We ran down the river walk. But it was a
Riverwalk in
banana
San
and a
Antonio.
gorilla suit. Yeah.
I am looking forward to hearing about this this thing in our post show, which is Chump Change. We will get some more details from
Sorry.
Sam. Oh, that's fine. Hey, speaking of dogs, we're gonna hear how Chad saved a dog's life as well in our post show, as well as a bit more about the banana suits. But at the end of that, it means that the deceivers managed to sneak out 1 point at the end of that round, but the audience still doesn't have any. So the current chump is the audience, with the deceivers leading 2-1.
Sorry.
As we move into our final round. So it's all to play for still. This episode of Chump is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Now ask yourself something. Does it make sense that the same company who controls half of online retail also passively eavesdrops on your private conversations at home? Of course not. Big tech is more powerful than most countries are, and they profit by exploiting your personal data. It's time to put a layer of protection between your online activity and these tech juggernauts. And that's why I use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN hides your IP address, making your activity harder to trace and sell to advertisers. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your internet data and keeps you safe from hackers and eavesdroppers on your network. I use ExpressVPN all the time, and I very often forget that I'm even using it. Anytime I open my computers, ExpressVPN is right there, and it connects automatically because I have it set to do so. But if you so choose and want to activate it whenever you turn your computer on, you just have to click the big button. It connects, and that is it. You are protected. It is changing your IP. And people can't just go grabbing your data anymore or see what you're searching for, which is a kind of security we all should have in today's age. So stop handing over your personal data to the big tech monopoly that mines your activity and sells your information. Protect yourself with the VPN I trust to keep me safe online. You can visit expressvpn.com/chump. That's EXPRESS. VPN.com/chump to get an extra 3 months for free. Go to expressvpn.com/chump right now to learn more. Thank you very much, ExpressVPN.
I feel bad. I screw the audience over every show I'm on.
You sure do. You sure do. You have a way of making them believe you. It's a real juxtaposition between I think they always believe you and they never believe Sam. And it's really worked out in this bizarre way.
I mean, outside of this show, that's probably, the safe way to go.
That's probably fair. Well, it's time to wrap up these points and wrap up the show with our final game, which is called Just the Facts. In this game, I will be providing you one true fact about one of our 3 deceivers, but all 3 of them are going to be pretending that this fact is about them. Maggie's going to question each of them up to my discretion. I'll tell her when to move on to the next person about this fact and try to determine who it is truly about. And the fact in question today is that one of our 3 deceivers almost lost an eye. One of them almost lost an eye. But who was it? Was it Sam? Was it Ben? Was it Chad? You, audience, can vote using the buttons or on mobile using hashtags within the chat. Maggie, who do you want to question first about this eye incident?
Let's go Ben first this time.
Let's go Ben first on this one. Almost lost an eye. No time limit. I'll just tell you when you've had enough. So whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Alrighty. So, hi, Ben.
Hello.
Didn't mean anything by my comments earlier. I think you're a dog lover.
Sorry to put you through the dog pain express.
Would you have lost this eye due to a physical injury or like an infection? What was the case surrounding it?
I guess it's a physical injury. The problem is I don't actually know how it happened. It just one day my left eye started like being all fuzzy and weird, and it turns out it had been scratched.
Like your iris was scratched, or
no, the cornea of it had been scratched.
Okay, cool. And what's the difference between a rod and a cone?
Oh man,
they take in different kinds of light. I don't know. I'm not an eye scientist. I just had my eye scratched and I had to go in and get it fixed. But the point was my vision was going to go out.
Okay, so you weren't going to actually lose an eye. You were just going to lose vision in one eye.
Yeah. So it's funny that we went with this because I'm totally expecting these other 2 guys to have like some crazy stories that they decided to come up with to try to like, play this one off. And when in reality it was pretty mundane. My eye got scratched. I had to go get surgery, but it was really messed up and it's still a little blurry sometimes.
Oh, I'm sorry that you still have effects from it.
There's your questioning for Ben.
What's the strategy?
I'm cutting him up. Cutting him
What's
off.
the
I love
strategy
that
of Ben
Maggie is
throwing
very...
us under the bus?
Sorry. Listen, you guys.
I've never seen another deceiver do that.
Let's see what you guys got.
You say that though. I think when we had Alfredo and Tim Geddes on together, I think like Tim was mid-story and Alfredo's like, liar! Like, that's another deceiver. All right, who would you like to question next?
Let's go Sam.
Okay.
Going
let's
Sam
go.
next. Almost lost an eye. Whenever you're ready, begin your questioning on Sam.
Are you going to ask him about rods and cones?
I mean, I can start with that. Sure. So what's the difference between a rod and a cone?
Yeah, they take in different kinds of light. Like one is good at seeing stuff at night in low light, and the other one's like good for day stuff, I think. Once the I will echo Ben, I am not an eye doctor. Which I believe they're
Okay.
called
Ophthalmologist.
ophthalmologists. Yeah.
And was this a physical or infectious issue with your eye?
It was physical.
What happened?
So do you know the stupid little like blow dart guns that they used to have, the like blow dart paintball guns?
Mm-hmm.
So
those are the
Chad
worst.
had one, and like Chad, you remember you did put the little the thumbtacks fit like right in it. And anyway,
Yeah, it was a bad time.
Some shithead friend of Chad when he was a punk rocker, you know these fucking punk rock kids, they just don't think well. And he used that thing with a little valve and just shot a thumbtack, and it hit like right here, like right next to my, like it was like think, and like I had this like little stabby right here on this like side. If it was just like 2 centimeters to the right, it just would have been like straight into the eye.
Do you have a scar?
No, not really, not anymore.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask if you showed it off.
I mean, it
to
was the
ladies.
pin. There was like the pin of a thumbtack, right? So it was just like,
Yeah, but
sure
you
I
know,
have
it
a
could
little
still make
right
a
there,
cool
but-
little scar. I don't know.
Man,
No,
Maggie
I
sounded
would.
very
Like,
disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
at like 15, I would have killed for an anime protagonist scar. That would have been great. No, I'm afraid it didn't work out that way.
So are you 15 again in this story?
I think probably around there because it's at Chad's parents' house. So, I mean, I don't think we
Okay.
had cars either. Yeah, we didn't have cars. No, so right around there.
Okay. And I don't think I have any other questions.
Got it. All right, wrapping up, Tim. I love that you tried to power through it. Like, like it will come to me. One question will come to me. All right. Sam has blamed Chad and his friends, and now we are left with Chad, who almost lost an eye. Maggie, whenever you're ready, let's question Chad about how he almost lost an eye.
Hi, Chad. I'm so sorry about saying you didn't have
Hi.
a soul earlier because your gender.
That's okay. Well, you know,
But
happens.
you know, was this a physical or a infectious reason that you
Physical.
would have lost your eye? Okay. And what's the difference between a rod and a cone?
It's something about focal distance, I think. I don't know.
Okay, so cones can receive color, is how it's easy to remember. C for C. Just
Oh,
Little
got it.
tip
Thank
there.
you. I'm learning things. This is great.
so what happened to you that would have physically gotten rid of this eye?
I decided to try and sneak up on Sam, and I thought I was doing a really good job. But instead, he saw me coming, and he always had a knife on him, and he thought he would counter scare me by whipping out a knife and holding it down. He was sitting on a boat that I was sneaking up on. It was in the driveway. And then when I turned to jump up and scare him, I did not see that there was a knife held out, and it stabbed me right in the eyelid. I had a cut in between like the eyelashes. Yeah.
Was it a graze or a stab?
So it was pointing. He was holding it down, and I turned and jumped. I was like, "Bah!" And then it just got me straight here. So it was like, I don't know. I mean, like the second I felt pain, I went away. So it was like a little cut, like a little tiny bit.
And was there blood involved?
It wasn't like it was like crazy blood. It was just you could tell it was a cut, but not like weeping blood or anything. You know, it was just like red, but.
And was this when y'all were 15?
I was driving at this point, so
Were
I
you
was
driving
probably
when this happened?
Yeah, I think the car was parked. I drove to this person's house who had the boat. So I was probably 17, and so that would have made Sam 15. Yeah. Why does everything happen when you're 15, Sam?
I mean,
we
it
weren't
can't
getting
solve.
into anything good. Yeah, like we weren't doing good shit around that age. Like,
Yeah. So which eye? I imagine I can't tell with the mirroring on this stuff. Which eye you keep?
It was my
pointing
left
to.
eye. Yeah.
Okay. So cool. And were your parents involved or upset in any way by finding out that this has happened with Sam? And did they keep you from him at all?
No, we both agreed that we dodged a bullet with this whole scenario and not to tell either of our parents because Sam probably would have lost his knives and my parents would have been like, you're an idiot.
A fate worse than death. Sam would have lost his knives. All right, we're gonna cut it there. I also have a couple questions too. First off, now we know more about rods and cones, so that is more
Way to go,
fact
Maggie.
that Maggie was not the one who almost lost her eye, so we know that because she knew about rods and cones. Also, am I wrong in thinking that an infection is still a physical ailment?
I don't know what to call it.
I mean, it's not a mental ailment. You didn't
Well,
mentally almost lose an
but-
eye.
Did something fly at you, or did you have like some disease? I guess disease. Is that what I was looking for?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
No,
Yeah, an
like
illness.
I think a bad infection it could cause that, right? Yeah.
So we have Sam sort of blaming Chad. We have Chad sort of blaming Sam. And then Ben got scratched. So we
Yeah.
audience, before we lock in your final answer, this is your last chance to change them. Maggie, what are you thinking hearing these stories? Is there anyone you're leaning toward or anyone you're totally like throwing out? What are you thinking?
It's like I want to believe Chad, but I feel like there would be more blood because there's a lot of capillaries there.
Wow.
Gosh, the knowledge here.
I mean, very cursory knowledge. I'm just
Just
throwing that
sciencing
out
it,
there.
man.
That's an eye scientist right there.
Yeah. Genuine eye scientist.
I'm kind of like, I feel like I could wake up in that same situation Ben found himself in.
with
So.
with the scratch that you don't know what's going on with.
Yeah. Like just something.
Something happened.
I don't know.
Corneas, they get
Yeah.
scratched up. They get scratched up.
They get
Audience, we're locking
lasered.
you in. Yeah, they get lasered, they get scratched, they get everything. Audience, you are now locked in. Thank you very much for playing that round. All right, so after hearing all of the stories before us, Maggie, it is time for you to do your final lock-in answer of the show. Who almost lost an eye?
I'm going to go with Sam.
Sam
Good choice.
with the blowgun. Do you want to lock that in?
Based on Chad's reaction, no, but I will.
All right.
First,
Let's
Chad's
lock
gonna try
in
and
Sam.
sway you.
Lock
I'm
in
not into
Sam
like every result so far.
based on Chad's reaction. Audience, let's see. Who did you think almost lost an eye? Was it Sam? Was it Ben? Was it Chad? Let's see those percentages. Chad,
Ooh.
they've gone for. Okay, so there's a split here. Maggie has gone for Sam, and the audience has gone for Chad. All right. Well then, I can reveal that the person who almost lost an eye was Chad James. Chad James had a knife go right up to his eye in the hands of Sam.
I really love though how the audience, as the audience sees it, they think me stabbing Chad most likely to have actually happened. Me getting shot second to most likely to happen. Ben just getting a scratch on his eye, never,
Not gonna
that
happen.
never
Not
happened.
the
Not
case.
realistic at all. No.
What was so meta about that was Sam borrowed truth from
Yeah.
I did have my friend's stepbrother was a fucking
Yeah, you
psychopath
fucked it.
and he had that blow dart paintball gun and he figured out you could put tacks in it and he would shoot it at us and it was fucking
So I remember
terrifying.
that. Like I've heard that, so that's why I went with Sam.
Ah.
I hate y'all. Y'all are the worst.
Hold some facts out of there. And so yeah, Ben saying the scratch in the car. I mean, like, is a real thing. Absolutely. My
If
sister
it's
had
like
a very
a really bad scratch.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my sister got a paper cut on her cornea one time, and like, yeah, but the thing was, I can't imagine a scratch on a cornea causing a doctor to go, "You might lose that eye." We're gonna be honest here. I don't know if it's gonna make it out of here. You know, eye patch, everything's good after a while.
I don't know. I'm not an eye scientist. I don't know these things.
There you go. By the way, that's the name of. That's the title of the episode.
I'm not an eye
I'm not an eye scientist. All right,
Jeremy?
So where does that leave our points? It means that the audience got a point and the deceivers got a point, meaning that the audience managed to tie with Maggie in the final moments of this show. Unfortunately, what that means is the audience did not win, but they simply brought Maggie down into the chumpdom with them, which means at the end of this episode, in a joint chump is going to be the contestant and the audience, and they are both going to be tonight's chump.
Oh,
There it is. There's the two. But it really was down to the wire there. I loved you going like, based on Chad's reaction, I don't know anymore.
Should have followed through. He almost had it.
Jeremy, I have a
I
question.
know he seems
Yes.
so mad I didn't pick him.
So, broadcast, if we could do this. So this has been a long-standing debate between Sam and I on whether it was my fault that I almost lost my eye for trying to scare him, or if it was his
Yeah, it's
fault,
your fault.
for whipping
It's
out
your
a
fault.
goddamn knife and holding it down at me.
Okay, yes, but you were trying.
Are we able to get a poll so that
You're
the
up
audience
first.
can settle this?
Can I
All right,
ask
while we're doing
why,
our wrap up. Yeah.
why were you hanging out with a 15-year-old that wields knives?
Because we
I mean,
bonded
great
over
question,
skating, and
honestly.
Sam could skate really good, and we were like on the same like skate level, and we helped each other get better.
It wasn't. I feel like there's like it's just I had a knife because knives are useful tools to have as well, and like
They
they're
are.
also a little bit cooler when you're.
You went through a phase where you were just picking up knives every
It
time you
wasn't
were at a
like-
place that had knives.
I mean, yeah, you have money and you're dumb and young. Yeah, you gotta find
I mean, that's not helping the argument that
All right, there
you're
we
just
go.
hanging out with him because he's a skater. He's also a knife
Right.
collector. Crazy
Poll
knife
has
guy.
started. Chat, the poll is started. It is going on right now. Based on the story that we've heard, as we do our wrap up, and then I don't know, it doesn't reveal the actual poll in the chat, right? All right, we'll do our wrap up and then just post a percentage on the screen as the credits are rolling. So people can see. I'm really putting a lot on broadcast shoulders right now. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you again to Maggie, Sam, Ben, and Chad for playing along in this week's episode. And of course, we are going to film our post-show Chump Change. We're going to hear more about the dog that Chad saved, about Ben running around dressed as a banana, more about the spaceman who lost his helmet, and getting a little more details into those stories. And you know what? Actually, don't put up that graphic. We'll reveal in Chump Change what the audience thought. So if
Now
you
you
want to
got
know, if you want to
way to
know
go.
where the votes came from, you got to check out Chump Change.
First
So,
membership.
you gotta
thank
get the
very much
reactions.
for watching. Yeah, get that first. You got to be a first member. You got to jump in there. And if you are a first member, thank you very much. We appreciate having you around. You really help support the company. Yes, thank you so much for playing along live. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Have a good one, everybody. Take care of yourselves. See you in a week. Thanks for watching, everyone. And of course, let us know in the comments down below who managed to fool you this episode and which guests do you want to see on future episodes. We're always looking to have new people on. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you 4 p.m. Central Time only on RTTV next Wednesday. See you there, people.